Good afternoon.
Well, good afternoon, Miss Jill. How are you doing?
Well, I can tell you, I'm sitting here at my desk, even though I'm not doing work. I checked out some numbers and things like that. But I got to tell you, that Outlander is on, and he's one hot guy. He's one cute. Yeah, that's all I have to say about
Right?
that. I've watched that 3 times, and it just gets better and better.
Oh, that's funny because I'm standing here, of course, connecting with you before I call you, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm in nature. I'm outside, and I'm just like really intent to and listening, and I'm like, okay, what am I doing? But I feel relaxed. I feel,
Were you?
yeah.
Okay, so right before you got on, probably about for 4 minutes now. Okay, right, and then I stopped when you called.
Uh-huh.
I was like, there was a dream I had one time, and I'm going to tell you, I went to heaven,
Oh,
and my mother was there, and it was outside, and it's gorgeous,
oh
right?
yeah.
It's just the most amazing thing. And I said, "Where's Dad?" And she said, she pointed and she goes, over there fishing. And I looked and the water had just white sparkles coming off of it and just
Oh wow.
blue as blue can be and just amazing. And I said, well, where do you live? And she goes, right there. And it was a like amazing log cabin, like right on this lake or water,
Oh yeah.
ocean. I don't even know what it was. And it had mountains behind us. I'm going to say it was a lake. And the grass was super green. It was just beautiful. And
Yeah.
right before you came on, I was sitting here meditating, and I took
Oh.
myself back there.
Oh, how cool! Because I'm listening to
So,
birds. I'm
yes,
hearing chimes.
yes.
I mean, I'm just
So
like at one with
yes,
nature. Oh, how
yes,
cool!
you were tuning into me,
Oh,
meditating back to my mother. Yes,
wow.
and I remember she had a wind chime on the porch, and it was dinging like really pretty dings, not super loud,
Yeah.
and and she introduced me to a little girl. She was like 4, beautiful little
Oh,
girl, and she goes, "This is your granddaughter," and I'm like, "Say what?"
hmm.
And she laughed, and she goes, "Oh, Jill, I'm going to keep her for a while. You won't see her for a
Oh
while."
my
And I'm like,
goodness.
"Yeah," and I said, "Okay, make
Ah.
sure it's a while, Mom." And she laughed. She goes, "Okay." Then this other young, attractive young man came over, tall, skinny, dark hair,
Uh-huh.
and he said, "It's so nice to meet you. I'm Adam." Well, my mother had a baby. My mom and dad had a baby, and it
Oh,
died. It was a boy,
yeah. Right.
and they named him Adam. And
Oh,
they named him Adam.
wow.
Except
How
he was
cool.
probably
That's
30.
how they look. Yeah.
Uh-huh. And
Oh,
I didn't recognize him because, of course
yeah.
he would have been, let's see, I'm 57. My sister's going to be 59. He would be 60, 61ish. He would be
Wow.
61ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
So he was like
goodness.
really nice looking. And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, Adam, it's so nice to meet you." And she was
Ah,
like, "Yeah, and yeah, yeah." And then
ah,
here come running my dog I had when I was young, and it died. It lived 15 years, like when my parents were alive and stuff.
mhm.
And his name was Charlie, and it was a little crazy dog. And it come running across this field, and it
Ah,
was super young, and it was jumping
mm.
all over me and licking me. It was so happy to see me, and I'm like, "Charlie!"
Oh, how
And she
cool.
goes, "Yeah, Charlie lives with us." And
Oh,
I'm just like, "Yeah, isn't that crazy?"
no, that's awesome.
And I took myself back there. Yes, because I was
Oh,
sitting
how
here
beautiful.
like thinking, I was sitting here thinking, I'm going to meditate while I wait on her. And immediately
Nice.
I went to that spot. Yeah, so
Oh,
you must have been there with me. Yes.
yeah. Oh my God, that just was
Yeah.
that's beautiful. That is so that and that's
Yeah.
such confirmation too. I love that, because a lot of people are like, "What do you mean you connect with me before you call?" But I'm like, "Well,
And
this
you
is
can
how it
tell them that
happens."
story now. Because as
Yeah.
soon as you said was, I'm talking about the Outlander, right? How hot
Yeah.
the Outlander is. And
Right?
you're like, well, I was here and I was like, yeah, I was
Oh
there
yeah.
too. So yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Wow.
That was nice. I mean, because I've been going since I got up at 6 o'clock this morning, and so I'm just like, that was very nice and calming.
It
It
was.
was
Yes.
beautiful. I was just like, oh, now I'm chill. This is nice.
I, she had at least a mile. of daisies. Or no, lilies.
Aw.
And she said, so now anybody who knows me gets me lilies for anything.
Mm.
And she goes, if I want to think about you, and then they were all red, like a
Aw.
square of nothing but just red.
Uh-huh.
And then there was a square next to that of nothing but white. And then there was a square of nothing but blue. And they
Aw.
were different colors.
Yeah.
And she goes, if I want to think of you, I go over here. Like she went to the white one. And
Aw.
she goes, if I want to think of your sister, I go over here.
Aw.
Like she told me that. Yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Oh, how cool is
yeah,
that though? And every time she's over there thinking about you, that's when you're dreaming of her. You're feeling her. You know what I mean? You can. That's you're feeling that connection, and she's showing you in those subtle ways that hey, I'm here thinking about you. That is so cool that she showed
yeah.
you that. And I mean, what a visual.
She did.
I'm like I'm getting it
And
all.
people that are, yeah, people that are like, oh, well, and I told Scott, yeah, and I'm like, yeah, I've been having, I mean, it is immaculate. Like it is, everything is to the nth degree. You know what
Yes.
I mean? The flowers, like
Yes. The
she
grass.
showed me the
Yeah.
lilies were super red
Yes. I know.
and just beaming blue. You know what I mean? Like
Yes. No, I've
everything
seen
was to
it.
the nth degree.
That's how it was when I
Yeah.
was in my near death experiences.
Hmm.
This
And the
meadow
birds
was, oh,
were super blue
yes.
and just chirping, 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 like happy, happy, chirping, chirping.
Yeah.
The sky is the bluest of blue
Mm,
you've ever
mm,
seen, but it's not hot. Like I
beautiful.
wasn't there sweating,
Perfect
even though it was
conditions now.
sparkling off of the water. It's
Oh,
sparkling off of the
yeah.
water. And I remember when I came back and I woke up and I thought, it was super sunny there.
Yeah.
Like, wasn't I sweating?
I know.
Like my mom wasn't sweating, the little
No,
girl wasn't sweating.
no,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
no, you don't sweat in
Anyway, but my dad
spirit.
was
Thank
out there
God.
fishing. He was fishing, and
That'd
I
be
looked
my
at him and
dad
I go,
too.
he's yeah, and I looked at her and I go, he's fishing,
Hmm.
and she goes, yeah, he has a boat and everything, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Isn't that awesome though? That is beautiful, Jill. Oh, how pretty though,
oh,
and just be able to
it
connect
was
with
a
that. Uh,
and when I shut my eyes, I can still see the place and the
yes.
water and
Yes.
the sparkles from the sun coming off the waters, like,
Mm.
and the waters were super blue, and
Mm-hmm.
like I said, everything was just much more colorful.
Mm-hmm. Oh
Like
no.
yeah, yeah.
No, magnified.
And the green was just green and perfect.
Yeah.
Like everything seemed perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I should say
Oh,
that. That's what it seemed like to me.
that's how it felt
Yeah.
to me,
And they lived.
Mm.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
lived in a log cabin, like not a log cabin, like from
Mm-hmm.
1770,
Right,
like a
right.
log
No, like
cabin, like
really nice.
yeah, it had a big porch, like kind of a wraparound porch, as my
Oh
mother
yeah.
always used to say she wanted one. And
Aw.
it kind of was like that, yeah.
Isn't that
Like, yeah, it
funny
had a
how we all
green
want
roof.
that? Mm.
Yeah, like a bright green roof. And it was and the wood was like reddish,
Mm.
brownish. Yeah. So
Oh.
yeah, I can recall that.
Oh
And that was
yeah.
I probably had that dream, I don't know, 5 years ago, maybe 7.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can
Yeah.
remember it and just go there like it was today.
Yeah.
So sometimes when I
Instantly call.
meditate, I go there.
Right? Well, what a beautiful place to go. I mean,
Yes.
to have been able to get that glimpse of their life also. I mean, that's a
Yeah.
gift. That's a gift.
And my dog Charlie,
Yeah.
Sherry, he was so happy to
Oh.
see me.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
Oh yeah.
That dog just was so
Love, love, love.
happy. And it was 15 when it died. It
Oh
was
yeah.
gray and it was losing its bowels. Like everywhere it walked, it would just pee
Oh.
and poop everywhere. And it was young and very vibrant
Oh
dog.
yeah. Oh yeah. Perfect
Like,
health.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah, and perfect
And
health.
perfect
And he
health.
was jumping like up to my chest, and I'm like, "Look at you!" I was like,
Yeah.
"Look at you, Charlie!" And my mom was laughing, and I remember his little
Oh,
girl laughed, and
nice.
yeah, and I was hugging him, and he was licking. He was so happy,
Oh,
like immediately remembered me. Yeah.
right?
So
Oh, of course.
anyway,
Oh no, that's beautiful. And
well,
that's how it is too, when our passed over loved ones come like that, it's a visit. And you're getting to see a glimpse of their world. It's pretty immaculate. I've seen so many different worlds. It's just I love it.
really,
Oh my God, yes. Underwater, right on the ocean, dolphins and whales swimming through. I'm like, wow. Where am
So,
I?
do
But it was my
you
friend
can you do
Sean's.
you do you think you go where you want to live, or you
No,
go where the books say you go?
no,